Welcome back to Raised by Wolves. The last 2 episodes have been insane, so let's see if they're gonna go for 3 in a row.
The core that ever was, now it will be the bones of what was there before.
Are we ever gonna find out what this tree is? They talked about in the last episode them getting the seeds from the tarantula, but well, this looks like a huge storage facility, so are we going to start this episode with her stealing the seeds? Because that'll prove me wrong right away. I really didn't want her to go down this route, man. She's my favorite character.
So glad I could brighten your day. There's some really great pieces in there.
I wish you were being sincere, because I'm actually kind of happy that his day was brightened too. Sue, only bad things can come from following whatever this voice is telling you to do. I'd be like, haha, I tricked you into helping me heal my son, and now I'm not going to do whatever it is you ask. I don't give a shit.
It's just a relic.
You keep that safe from me, okay?
Sure.
You need to imprint on them as something they can rely on.
I don't think it's the same as raising children.
It's not so different.
Actually, I never really thought about it, but being a leader really isn't all that different from being like a parent or a mother. I don't know why I just insinuated that being a parent and a mother are two different things, but...
Means the baby's gonna be coming a lot sooner than we thought. It's looking like the day after tomorrow.
Oh, what?
Contractions are gonna
It's only gonna make me think of Otho. I know it is.
Tempest, I promise you.
Holly, like, I can understand it being extremely traumatic what happened with the other android Vril killing them all, but Mother loves you.
You so would save you.
Just get off them.
You gonna hand me over to the trust?
Well, yeah, that's not really an
I hold the
option.
baton now.
That little squeak was funny.
Tell them it is fantasy, and I will set you free.
There's no way he's gonna renounce Saul. No way.
To be worthy of Soul's loved children, you only need faith.
Put him in the brig until he renounces soul.
Copy.
It's never gonna happen. So he's probably gonna escape. And that's just great.
And when you have your freedom, be thankful for that.
She makes a point. Like,
We will revisit this.
yeah, it's like it's not the deal that we agreed on, but you're free now, so you don't have much room to complain.
That you saw the light.
I did. Literally.
Yeah.
Soul saved my life.
Well,
Then you have to help me. She wants you to be the leader, right?
Don't remind me.
Well, tell her if she wants you to be the leader, she's gonna have to learn to trust your decisions.
you know what, Paul? For once, I agree with you.
Good morning.
Oh,
Good morning.
so awkward, but so cute.
It will make us look stronger.
Will it?
Keep him locked up and makes it seem like we're afraid of him. But if you let him go,
I like the way you're thinking, Campion, but releasing him will also cause more conflict, more casualties.
Yeah.
Things we can no longer afford to endure.
For the millionth time, I see both sides pretty well, actually. Like, they both make really solid arguments. I guess that's the thing about politics. There's never just a perfectly right answer to anything.
can't keep him locked up just because of what he believes.
I mean, I feel like he's locked up because he's,
He committed murder.
gotten people killed.
Not to mention he assaulted me.
What is she doing?
I don't know. Take her hand and find out. I
I'm
really don't think she means
not
harm.
sure.
Oh? What's happening? What is that? Oh, so that's what it looks like up close. That looks sick. Are you kidding
This is
me?
what I saw.
That looks really cool. Like a perfect counter to what the Necromancer looks like. That's awesome. Although, why did it look more like solar energy the last time, and now it's just like a golden light? Little inconsistent.
Do you think there are others?
Perhaps.
Oh god. Oh shit.
Is she functioning?
Yeah. No.
Mother,
no.
no.
Oh god.
She's a good android. So I named her grandmother.
Aw.
She seems to like Campion very much. She's not dangerous, Mother.
Yeah, I really don't think she is. Or maybe she is.
Said the same of me once.
I don't know. Ooh, are we gonna find out if she's actually not as strong as this new android? Ooh, very cool. Damn. Okay, I guess Mother has not met her match like I thought.
She's asking why you aren't wearing your veil.
Fascinating.
Huh.
Whatever that is, Mother, she's good.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm a little bit on Mother's side there. Like, I'm inclined to believe she's cool, but I'm like, I don't know. You know, if you weren't about to be tortured, I'll bet that would be, like, kind of fun to just be, like, spun around on the wall. Especially if they, like, crank that shit up to 11, just woo! I feel like if it was Mother, she'd just,
Nice costume.
you know, do it. So this must be someone else.
I know that punch.
Oh, is it Sue? Yep. Yes, it is.
Mother's coming back to the ship soon. I can only talk for a minute.
What are you doing?
I didn't think.
And then he answered me.
Yeah, in a really
told me
fucking
how to
scary
feel
ass
Paul.
way. So, okay, well that's
Back on Earth, Soul was just
that's
a
also some
story.
answers. It's coming
But
from
here
this
on 22B,
planet.
he is real.
Pray so.
Praise Soul.
Ugh. Ew. Oh, I hate that. I fucking hate that. Oh no. Oh no. What? What? Alright, so whatever's in that little device that they have, not good. As soon as they're trying to open it up, the snake is freaking out.
Mother and Father are working. I'll go check on it.
Campion, don't get hurt, please. My palms are sweating. I'm getting very nervous. Whoa! What is going on? It's a good thing he got thrown into the gate and not like the rock wall. Whoa, what the fuck is happening?
Wait! You stupid beast! You could have killed him. You're 100 times larger than he is.
Well, honestly. Oh, stop doing that to me.
Please don't cry.
What if it has to be all three of us talking?
I was thinking just that, buddy.
Why would that make a difference? I hate this. I hate
You know what,
this.
Tempest's baby is due tomorrow. It's probably the most distracted Mother's ever gonna get. And that's when we're gonna get Marcus out.
That's the time they need you the most, Sue. Come on. I'm very upset with Sue. Ready?
I've been replaying my memories of our time together.
Oh.
Are you gonna follow me around all day staring at me until the baby comes?
I mean,
No.
it might be helpful.
Sometimes, Tempest, when under extreme pressure, human beings grow to meet their demands, and sometimes they regress.
It's a little more
Don't worry, Mother.
real than I think she needs to hear right now, but it's true.
I know there's no escape.
That's a terrifying way to look at that. I think Father does have a little bit of romantic feelings towards grandmother. Makes it a little weird that that's like her name now, but still.
Hello.
Hello?
Oh,
It's the only language I'm able to speak.
he has a really pretty voice, actually.
It could have been much worse.
Who is Mother?
That's true.
You mean the weapon?
Oh,
She's my partner.
You are not my partner.
oh,
No.
oh no. I don't like that. Do not like that.
How's Tempest?
Not
She's
good.
inside.
I'll go check on her.
She's not gonna be there. You all fucked up. Why? Ugh, god damn it.
This is bad.
Yeah, a little bit.
This is really bad.
Y'all had one job.
Marcus!
What are you doing, dude? Why were you just creeping on the floor like that? What the fuck? I really thought your near-death experience was gonna make me like you a lot more, Paul. And I don't think I hate you any more than I did at the start of the season, but I still don't like you. I still think you're a little shit. Oh, Tempest, what are you doing? You're not even wearing any shoes. Like, one wrong splash of a wave and you're burning your feet off. I would like to immediately say I really don't like birthing scenes. I imagine I wouldn't like being in the room for a real-life birth as well. It seems like a truly awful experience. And she's currently doing this on her own with no like drugs to help with the pain, no medical equipment to make sure she's okay. This is really bad. I kind of get the impression that she's gonna like try and chuck this baby into the acid water as soon as she gives birth to it. That's really horrible, but it does kind of seem like that's what's being implied with this. No more, no more.
I can't. I'm sorry, I fucking can't.
Oh, these waves getting so close. Oh, this whole thing is just fucking me up. I hate this. I understand. It's part of nature. This is what happens and all, but like, oh my lord. Oh, that's so sad too. She's just trying her best to not look at him. Like, oh, that's so horrible. Oh. Shit, why did that like almost got me to cry right there. What the fuck? I know it doesn't always go down this way, you know, in situations like this, but that makes me happy for her. Tempest, gotta go. Tempest, we gotta go. No. Dude. Mother. Father. Someone. Please. Grandmother. Anyone. God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, fucking hell. Tempest, it does not have legs. Run for your life. Try to, like, sprint around the thing. What the fuck? Oh, God. Why is it not burning the baby? What the I am actually speechless. What just happened? That makes me like really upset and also like horribly freaked out. What the fuck? I think that's the most fucked up thing they've ever done on this show. That was really, really awful. It's like making my voice shaky. That was really fucked. I cannot believe that just happened.
Too distracted by our own development to effectively monitor theirs.
You did fuck up pretty bad. I would say literally everyone fucked up really bad here. I am actually shaking. That is so horrible. That is so horrible. It actually makes me want to cry. It is so horrible. I don't think that thing even ate the baby. Like, I think it was kind of fate worse than death situation. They do a lot of body horror on this. And that thing had a mouth. I'm pretty sure it's like mutating that child into one of them, which just makes it even fucking worse.
Override.
Scary and funny. I like it. Unfortunately, yes.
Not you too.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. She's like, hey, remember how you wanted to kill this dude? Now's a great time to do it. Yeah, what? A warning of what? No, what the dude. I'm still shaky from what happened with Tempest, and this whole situation, for whatever reason, is really, really putting me on edge.
Can you sing me the lullaby?
Ooh, how much you want to bet the lullaby is what opens the box? Oh god. Oh no. I didn't want to be right. I really didn't want to be right on that one. Oh no. No. Extra creepy that it opens up like a weird flower. What did the warning say on the card? What is this? Oh. What? Oh no. What the fuck? Dude, not her. Literally, if they had done this exact whatever the fuck is happening to Paul, to Marcus, I'd still be freaking out. I'd be more okay with it. Not Sue. Oh, I hate this. What is happening? Oh, this is fucked. I don't know if I like the show anymore, and I'm not being sarcastic when I say that. This episode in particular has been, I think, a little too fucked up so far. I'm not even lying. Is that the tree? Did not see Sue sitting in front of that tree. And I am really upset where my mind is going with that. I really need Sue to, like, walk out from behind a rock or something, like, right fucking now. Dude, did she turn into a fucking tree? Oh no. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, this is absolutely the episode that I think has gone a little too far. Oh fuck no. Way too much body horror in this episode. Way too much. That is horrifying. I'm so sorry, Sue. Burn the tree down. Burn the tree down, destroy it right now. Right fucking now. Oh, I really despise that. I hate that. Holy shit. I didn't enjoy the episode. Did not enjoy it. But, objectively, let's discuss if it was good or not. All right. Well, it was 3 episodes in a row that they hit us with, another successive series of holy shit, what the fuck moments. Last week's ranged from extremely satisfying to I do not understand what just happened. This week ranged from I do not understand what happened to oh my god, that is insanely fucked up. I think that is more horrible than a lot of shit I have ever seen. And let's discuss those bad things right away. I would like to just get that, out of the way so we can discuss what I liked about it. I can't decide which one is worse, to be totally honest, so let's just go in sequential order. Tempest and her baby. The situation, in my opinion, was already plenty fucked up. The fact that she was raped and then had to carry this baby to term and was literally about to throw it into the acid ocean without looking at it so she wouldn't be reminded of her rapist again. Like, all of that on its own, I think that was plenty. And for it to end with her actually really connecting with the child, that was wonderful. And then they just hit me with the most unbelievably horrible shit I have ever seen, where one of those mer creatures pops up out of the ocean, and you can tell it was a female variant of it. It looked like she had 4 titties. I'm sorry, I have to make at least one joke to be somewhat okay with what just happened. And she clearly, didn't try to harm the child. She very carefully picked it up and then put it inside a cavity in her body and then just skedaddled right back into the ocean. I don't understand how she wasn't able to burn the child but was burning the fuck out of Tempest. We have officially hit a point on the show where I'm like, I don't know if you could say things can be rationally explained anymore. Early days on the show, I was sure everything would have some kind of scientific explanation, and I suppose you could still make an argument for that now, but I think we've definitely passed into the realm of, this is more along the lines of a fantasy epic than it is a straight sci-fi show. So who knows the reason, but takes the child away from Tempest, her just screaming and crying, having no way to do anything about it. And after her whole ordeal, when she finally finds some good out of the whole thing, it's ripped away from her. And I'm a little bit on the fence on that one. On one hand, I'm like, holy shit, that is quite a trial to put your character through. I am curious to see where she's going to go from here. But on the other hand, I'm like, it seems a little unnecessarily cruel. Because like I said, the whole situation was already cruel enough. Then to add something that horrible on top of it, I'm like, I don't know, man. That seems a little gratuitous. And with Sue's character, I wouldn't necessarily say it was gratuitous in terms of what happened. I just hated it. I just hated it. She was my favorite character. She was my absolute hands down favorite character on this show. And then in 2 episodes, she becomes a devout believer in Saul. I was more okay with it at the start because she was like, I'm not really calling it Saul, but whatever it is, I believe in it. But that very quickly changed to her chanting the same bullshit that Marcus and Paul are, and I am not a fan of that. Does it kind of make sense? Actually, I'd make an argument that it doesn't. For Paul and Marcus, for them to be like, no, I hear someone talking to me, this is, divine intervention. That makes a little more sense to me. Sue knows it's a transmission from an actual person somewhere, and she's still, so devout, which seems a little weird to me. And then to wrap it all up with her absorbing a seed and then becoming a fucking tree that apparently just drops off little brain fruit, I despise that. That makes my skin crawl. I don't understand it. And once again, we were hit with an episode with just so many questions, and I'll admit there were like 2 kind of vague answers in there, which I appreciated. But her turning into a tree and Tempest baby getting like vored by some fucking whatever the fuck, those are massive what the fuck questions to just dump and then move along. So I don't know, I am frustrated with this one. I really enjoyed Mother in this episode though. There was a lot more of her than in the last one, and seeing her kind of struggle to be the leader of this place I think is pretty interesting. I'm also really curious as to what happened when her nose started to bleed and she, you know, figured out that Sue had dipped out on her. Let me actually go back to that moment. Okay, yeah, no, she definitely starts to have her meltdown after she realizes that she's gone. That especially pisses me off when it comes to Sue. Like, I understand that Paul, and I guess Marcus now, are her, you know, main priorities. But Tempest and her baby seem to be the number one concern at the moment. So to be, like, all absorbed in Saul and her family and everything, and just completely abandon Tempest when they really fucking needed her for that. And yes, I understand, even if she was around, she probably couldn't have changed the outcome of what happened. But they had no way of knowing that. So for her to just bail when she very clearly could have been of use in the situation, I think that is very fucked up. Another reason Sue is no longer my favorite character after this episode. I guess not a character at all. She's a fucking tree. I love the little bit of stuff we got with grandmother and father. It was a pretty short scene, but it was really interesting how, for one, she started speaking, you know, common to him. I don't know if they just call it English in this world or if it's like Star Wars where it's, you know, galactic common or whatever. But it was very, very ominous that she's like, no, you're my partner, right? And he's like, no, we're definitely not partners. I think he and everyone else expected her to be like, okay, well, you know, what do I do then? Who is my partner? But instead she, you know, she clammed up real quiet, made all the AI in the room like turn bright red before shutting down, which I'm nervous. And they even said, you know, she has a function which they do not know anything about. They're like, I don't know what she does. You know, you're all weapon systems and she is just something else entirely. I did also very much enjoy the brief almost showdown between grandmother and mother. Not only does it just look really cool, like the dark silver contrasted with like the gold of each of the androids, but the fact that she seemed a little out of it makes me think she wasn't, you know, even trying to resist Mother. So if they were to go head to head, I don't know, that might not go in Mother's favor. Again, we have no idea what this other function of hers is. Is she just able to like assimilate other programs? Is that what it is? Like a very complex mind control? Is she able to just alter matter or something? Like, the possibilities are endless. Oh my God. I really regret rewatching every episode at least one more time before doing the review, because like this one, I honestly didn't want to rewatch it. Just knowing what was going to happen to Tempest and Sue and knowing it was coming did not make it any better. I feel like it made it worse. The show has done them both so dirty. I cannot believe the things that happened to those two. But let's jump into the technicals. Writing in this episode, I'll bet some people are going to think that I'm just being salty because stuff happened that I didn't like. But I do think there are some shoddy moments with the writing here. As I said, I think Tempest losing her child on top of all of the other stuff that has already happened to her, it seems a little gratuitous. And I don't like to, you know, go down this route per se, but for it to be happening to pretty much the only black woman on the show, I feel like it's unnecessary. It's too much. And as for character motivations, Sue, I'm kind of iffy on that one. I suppose you could make the argument that, you know, whatever this Saul person is, it did help her save her son's life. So maybe she would just, you know, ditch all loyalties and reasoning and everything in order to follow its orders and be with her other family, who she now, I guess, understands a little better. I personally don't think she would. Would she begrudgingly follow what the voice is telling her to do, you know, because she does sort of owe him. Yeah, I could see that, but again, she's sitting there genuinely believing and saying, you know, praise Saul, let me sing you this Mithraic lullaby and all this shit, and I don't know if I buy that. Everyone else's motivations seemed pretty on point. Grandmother's, I have no idea what her motivations are, but they did a great job making me want to find out. Plot progression, I mean, every episode this season, aside from the premiere, has had just an enormous amount of plot progression. At this point, I'm almost going to say to a detriment, because there has been so much happening and still very little answers as to why any of this is happening. And don't get me wrong, I'm still very invested. I want to find out what happens. But like I said, if you continue down that route for too long, people stop caring. They're like, okay, I wanted to know what was going to happen, but it's now been fucking 3 seasons and I don't know, so whatever, I'm just over it. So I'm hoping they start piling on some answers here soon. But like I said, there were a couple vague ones in here. A sort of possible answer as to how Mother was able to like create life within her. I'm assuming in the next episode we're going to find out what the warning on the card was. Although I think we saw it for ourselves, basically saying, you know, in order to plant this tree, you need to make the ultimate sacrifice and become that tree. I hate that. Is that twisted and wild? Yes. I don't hate that from a writing standpoint. I hate that from a personal standpoint that it happened to Sue. And as for pacing in this episode, I think it was actually really good. Like, this was also one of the longer episodes in the whole series, and it felt like it blew right on by. Like, I was shaking and not having a good time for like the last 15-20 minutes of it, but it did not feel like a 50-minute episode. But because of the issues I have with character motivations for Sue, and I still think what happened to Tempest it's just too much for the sake of being too much. Like, yes, I'm sure at some point they're going to explain why it needs to vor little babies, but they could have had another pregnant character have it happen to her. Like, I don't want that to happen to anybody, but again, to throw that at Tempest after everything that's already happened, don't think it's necessary. But there were, high points in the writing, so I'll go for a 7 out of 10. Editing of this episode, I think it was very good. Particularly the moment when Tempest is giving birth. Like, I was super uncomfortable, but the way they were able to kind of breeze through that scene without it being extremely drawn out and long, like how they would rapidly cut between her like shaky breaths and the acid waves coming through. Not only does that, show what the character intends to do, but it also was, like I said, a kind of clever way to speed through that moment so you still get the impact of it without sitting there for like 15 minutes. Also, I hated it, but the editing of Sue's like transformation was quite good because they would cut during like really freaky noises that they would have. So it's partly, kudos on the sound design as well and the cinematography, but they did, like, all 3 of those categories did a great job making that scene insanely uncomfortable and chaotic. So editing for me is going to get a 10 out of 10. Cinematography was also very good, but definitely not as good as last week. I think a lot of the shots with Tempest on the rocks, as horrible as the whole scene was, there were some really gorgeous shots with that. And I think, again, like how they did it very handheld with Sue's transformation, that was very well done. But everything else in the episode felt pretty by the books, like nothing bad, just nothing good. So I'll do a 7 out of 10. Sound design was fantastic. I almost want to fucking punch these people for how uncomfortable they made me during the Tempest and Sue scenes. But even during other moments of the episode, once again, the sound design so effectively makes you uncomfortable and uneasy and really, really immerses you into the story and the world. So that's getting a 10 out of 10. Acting was very, very good in this one. I actually can't think of a single performance that I was unhappy with. And this is going to be the first episode where I give the, grand award to 3 actors. And that is going to be Amanda Collin, Niamh Algar, and Jordan Loran. playing Mother, Sue, and Tempest, respectively. The three of them gave amazing performances, to my detriment in the case of Sue and Tempest characters. Like, as much as I hated the scene, Niamh Algar really sold the, like, jerky movements of, like, the seed taking hold in her. Ugh, I hate that. I really hate that. And Jordan Logran did a fantastic job selling not only the, you know, horrific tragedy that happens to her, but just the conflict of going through these contractions, not wanting to see the baby, and, you know, was about to kill it and everything. And I think she really did a great job not villainizing herself. I think in that moment, a lesser actor would not have, you know, sold it as well, that she feels terrible about having to do this or about wanting to do this. But it's such a horrible situation that you can't 100% blame her. And she did such a good job selling that conflict and the actual physical pain of having to go through a birth. I would assume she probably researched quite a bit as to, like, the noises a person will make during those moments, because it seemed very good. And of course, Amanda Collin, she's just like a god, in my opinion, when it comes to acting. And I love the moment when she kind of has a little meltdown over Sue leaving. Because again, she just has these like little tics in her face and her body movements to indicate that, you know, she's not all there anymore. And it's just so cool. And I love the delivery on Override.
Override.
Like, it was terrifying and hilarious all at the same time. That was great. So that's gonna get a 10 out of 10. Costumes and makeup. You know, as I always say every week, the green and yellow, it's horrible. It is never going to get a 10 out of 10 on this show as long as that is the predominant color scheme of all costumes. As for makeup and everything, I think they did a good job. I really like what they do with the like lower end androids, just how janky and creepy they look. Give me Coraline vibes, actually. It almost looks like they have buttons for eyes. But I thought like the burn marks on Tempest's arms were very well done. And the costume of Grandmother is so cool. They found a way to incorporate that helmet that Mother and Father were wearing in the first season in just such a like way cooler way, with like the call over it and everything. Like, that's such a good choice. It looks so cool. And just because that looks so dope, I'd say that'll bump this score up to an 8 out of 10. Set design, I actually think it was very good in this one. The new room where they're kind of analyzing Grandmother, I think it's very, you know, sleek, high tech. It looks very cool. I like all the blue neon tubes that are hooked up to her, and it just looks kind of neat. And I really like the setting of where, you know, Tempest has her absolutely horrible scene. But there's still nothing in here that's like, oh my god, that just shocked the shit out of me with how impressive it is. So I'll do an 8 out of 10. And finally, visual effects. I think the visual effects were fantastic, actually. There's only one effect in the whole episode that didn't quite do it for me, and it was actually right at the very end with the Sue tree. It's the same problem as when the same effect happened on Marcus's veins, where it's like this pulsing energy going through the tree. There's just something about it that looks very 2D. Just doesn't look quite finished, so it pulled me out of it. I mean, not enough for me to, you know, not be utterly horrified over what just happened, but still, especially on a second watch through, I was like, oh, that doesn't look so good. But everything else was really, really outstanding, actually. Particularly so because everything else was so good and there's just that one effect at the end that is distracting, I'll do a 9 out of 10. And that gives this episode an 8.6 out of 10. I personally would rate it probably like a 6 out of 10 is what I would rate the episode, because I truly did not enjoy it. Or, I mean, that's a little harsh. I was enjoying it until we got to the stuff with Tempest. Like, the moment you see her out on the rocks, from that moment to like the very end of the episode, I was genuinely not having a good time. There was one brief, tricky moment that made me smile, you know, when she connects with the baby, but that made the following moment so much worse. So, yeah, I did not enjoy it. If I had my choice, it would be like a 6 out of 10 episode. And I do actually despise how insane those twists are with Tempest and Sue without any kind of answers in sight for those things happening. Because again, had they done one of those things, I would have been a little upset, but I would have been like, all right, eventually we're going to figure out why the fuck that happened. But the fact that both of those things happened and so many other things in this season, I'm like, there's no way in the next 2 episodes, or is it 2 episodes or are there 4 more in this season? Regardless, there is no way they're going to be able to answer the questions that I need answered in this season. And it's frustrating, man. Like, that was my biggest complaint about the first season, and here we are all over again. Like, is the show extremely entertaining and really interesting and completely unpredictable? Yes, and I love it for that reason. But it is so goddamn frustrating that every time we get close to an answer, all we get are more questions. But we'll see. Maybe these next couple episodes will prove me wrong. So I will see you all then, and that's about it.